No,
Then you get into a point. That's true. Sorry, I missed that bit. Then you actually get into a point
spiraling,
in detail.
and then I can make my
he
point.
gets shown to be wrong, and exactly the point that is most like the crux of the whole conversation. He will just be like, "I need to make a cup of tea and have a think about my life."
So the question is, if the Earth was spinning, we would fly off the Earth because it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator.
Is that your statement? Or is that your statement? If the Earth is spinning, we would spin off.
That's what I've experienced. Okay. If something is spinning, things fly off it.
What tests have you done? What measurements have you made? Explain it. Show me your working, please. If we were spinning, we would fling off. Understandable statement. Please show me your working.
Well, if you take a tennis ball, dunk it in water, and then spin it, the water.
That's your working, Kimo.
Yeah, that's like
hundreds
of times faster than the.
So is that how we test things? We get a very, very small thing and expect it to be exactly the same.
Well, what's the difference?
The size.
Scale.
The size of it.
What does making it bigger keep the? How does it when it's bigger keep the water on it?
You not knowing the answer to that question is the reason why you're probably still a flat earther.
Yeah, what's the answer? Why is it when it's bigger it keeps the water?
Okay, describe to me what happens. Sorry, I can do this. I can still do this. Describe to me what happens when you spin the ball with water on it.
The water flies off.
Right. Describe to me what happens to the water when you spin it at a rate of once per day.
The water flies off.
Okay. When you spin it around the first time, which way does it fly?
Well, unless the water's off it, and I've spun all the water off, then there will be no water flying off. Yeah.
But you're spinning it around at a rate of 15 degrees an hour. So after 3 hours, it'll have only done a 90-degree turn.
Yeah, but that equates to 1,000 miles an hour, right?
Is it water?
No. It's a scale model. You made the scale model, mate. Mm-hmm. What happens when you turn it at once?
Turn it at once a day at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah. How do you do it once? How do you do both of those things at the same time?
Spin it at 1,000 miles an hour once a day.
What? Give it one super fast spin and then stop it?
No, it spins once a day at 1,000 miles an hour.
Okay, do that with a tennis ball. I want to see you experimentally do this. Do it 500 miles an hour.
And the water will fly off.
I want you to do this with a tennis ball. Spin the tennis ball at 1,000.
Why would you still do it at 1,000 kilometers an hour if you're trying to make a scale model, but you're keeping one of the scales the same as the other thing? Wouldn't you just go, no, this spins at a rate dependent on its radius, so the other thing spins at the same rate?
You don't have to spin it at 1,000. You can spin it slower than 1,000 miles an hour and the water will fly.
Yeah, once a day is how fast I would like to spin it.
Which is 1,000 miles an hour.
A tennis ball. If you turn it around so that it's, we put a dot on a tennis ball, and then we, fuck, my brain is imploding. And then we turn the tennis ball so slowly that it's only by next day that the dot makes it back to the same place. And we can do that at 1,000 miles. I'm missing something because you're smarter than this. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
No, he's not. He's that dumb.
No, he's not.
Yeah, because you've got to do it at 1,000. Whatever it's turning, you've got to do it at 1,000 miles per hour. However long or however big or whatever day you want, you've got to keep the speed at 1,000 miles per hour.
Answer this. Kimo, answer this. In relation to what? What is going 1,000 miles an hour?
Yes, good question.
The object is moving 1,000 miles every hour.
In relation to what?
In relation to what?
You mean in relation to what? So if you stand at the equator...
Well, in relation to what?
Into the 1,000 miles per hour.
In relation to what?
The 1,000 miles.
To what?
Into the 1,000 miles. So every 1,000 miles, every hour, it goes 1,000 miles.
In relation to what?
In relation to 1,000 miles.
This is Splatter's buzzword.
Every 1,000 miles, in relation to the 1,000 miles,
right now, do you?
every hour, every 1,000 miles, in relation to the 1,000
yeah,
miles.
how stupid does that? You asked. That's stupid.
Every 1,000 miles, every hour, 1,000 miles.
He sounds like a retard now. It's
in
ridiculous.
relation to the 1,000 miles. Andrea.
Why are you making silly voices, Kimo? I just tuned in and I heard Kimo making silly noises.
In relation to the 1,000 miles.
He's really struggling. He went
away. You really don't understand it, though, do you?
Panicking to hell.
Yeah, every hour, Andrea, 1,000 miles.
In relation to what? Who's looking at it to see
The
that spin
1,000
at
miles.
1,000 miles an hour?
Every
So
1,000
where are you?
miles.
Okay, Kimo,
Where are you
1,000
in
miles.
You
Where
can be
are
anywhere
you in
you
regards
like.
to
You can
this
be anywhere.
1,000 miles?
You can go anywhere in the world, anywhere in the galaxy.
Oh, so
but the
anywhere
Earth
on the planet.
turns every
And
1,000 miles
okay,
an hour.
everywhere on the planet.
I said at the equator, 1,000 miles. Every 1,000 miles in relation to the hour.
1,000. Okay, so how 1,000 miles is the equator?
Every 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
What
In
1,000
relation to
miles?
In relation to the hour.
Hour, as in time.
Every hour, 1,000 miles.
As in he's being as stupid as he possibly
mate-
can be because he's a fucking mong.
I'm saying that every hour, 1,000 miles. In relation to the hour,
Mr. Mong.
is 1,000 miles.
He's the only one I question because he's like, you've either got to have torched part of your brain or you're doing this on
In
purpose
relation
at this point.
Exactly.
Like,
He's
the other flirts I believe because I can like understand it from their perspective, or like Jin just gets indignant when he doesn't understand things and deliberate doesn't understand things. But this is like either Kimo's a Poe or
cognitive dissonance.
no, it's beyond that because it's clear the question you're asking, and instead he's doing a voice, but he would notice that he leaves when he's lost. Like that's been pointed
Because
out.
I was asking you the question,
by people
Eggshells. I
other than
said to you, Andrea
Yeah.
Pipe
Somebody
talk
was
and say, in
talking-
relation to what? In relation to what? We're talking about
Kimo,
Yeah.
somebody
And
was
you
Uh,
didn't answer any of the
1,000 miles an
questions. It's
hour.
a shame, Kimo.
where's the evidence for 1,000 miles an hour spinning
So
Earth?
show
Kimo,
Exactly.
In
So
in
we
relation
fly
to
up.
what? It's the same question, Kimo. In relation to what?
Every hour.
1,000
Where are we
miles an
moving?
hour.
Where are we
what
moving?
does that mean? 1,000 miles an hour.
Oh my
Equator,
God,
1,000
no.
miles an hour. That means nothing, you fuckhead.
Oh no, I
They're
think it does mean something. I
words.
just don't think he can answer the question. I've deliberately not answered it for a while because it's an eminently answerable
Well,
question.
what's the answer then?
Even if sure, but I wanted to let us get this long to establish. Would you say I don't know, Kimo?
We haven't taken this
Or
long.
you've
We've
already
got
answered?
Andrew saying in relation to what?
Sure,
in
I can
relation to
answer that
what?
question.
You see, he
Hey,
has
Kimo.
no idea, so he's going to try and get someone else to answer him because he's
Yeah.
terrified.
That's why.
Well,
Hey,
I
Kimo,
don't
watch
know.
the
How
video
does
right
the
now.
water
Watch the
stay
video
on
I
the
just
Earth
posted.
without flying off? How is that possible?
Now he's changed
Kimo,
the
watch
topic.
the
Now he's
Kimo,
changed the
watch the
topic.
video I just posted.
Oh, let's take a look at that.
It's interesting. Anyway, it's probably time for me to go to sleep and Kimo.
Yeah, I'm actually
Kimo's
heading to
already-
bed myself.
Good night,
Kimo's
guys.
already been kicked
Right.
twice, so it's sort of delightful sport. But if you want to hear my answer,
Sleep
Kimo,
tight.
it is I would draw a line between the
I
center
thought you
of
said you
the
were going to
Earth
bed.
and a
Oh, you're not going to bed.
constellation, and then I
Shut
would
up,
say
Kimo.
that
He just
that
said, I'm going to
line
bed
between
now, and now he's not
the
going to
center
bed.
of the yeah, see, he
You
doesn't
should
want to
go
hear
to
it.
bed,
This is
Kimo.
not
You
the
can't-
behavior of somebody who thinks they're right. Like he knows he's
Yeah.
wrong. He just
He
likes
knows
following
he's
it.
wrong.
The Bieber, I'm
He
looking at your
does, like, he
video.
doesn't
Eggshells,
like
Eggshells, you're not
the
telling us
commu-
anything we don't know, buddy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Just go to
it's-
bed,
but
mate.
it's-
Go to bed.
I've
Go rest your
wondered-
head.
I wonder for a
He's
lot
upset.
of people. But
Yeah,
here's how
go
I'd
to
say
bed.
it.
Go to bed.
Here's how I'd say it, Kimo. I'd
Look,
say I'd
you're
draw
tired.
the center of
Fall
the Earth
asleep.
and
Okay, mate?
a constellation that
Okay,
was
this is just talk over everybody day. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
that's
it
cool.
is. I'm going to bed.
Why not?
Good
See you
night.
later. Good night.
Nightmare,
Good
Bert.
night.
Have a good
See you in the
one.
morning. See you later.
Night,
So
night.
did you watch the
And
video,
Kimo, hope you
Kimo?
get cancer.
I watched it there, Be More for Life, but there's nothing here
You didn't
indicating.
watch it.
I am looking. You got
You
some
didn't watch
stairs.
it.
I am watching it. You got some stairs. You got this apparatus. You got a
Are you
it's a
listening
big
to what
ship.
I'm saying?
It's a big boat.
Are you
Big ship.
are you listening to the audio?
No, I'm looking for Earth spin evidence. Oh, you got a ball at the beginning.
Are you listening? So you're not being honest and listening to the
I'm not
audio?
listening to it. No, I'm looking for the
Of course
evidence.
not. Of course not. So do I have to narrate it for you?
Yeah, what's this? What are they saying? You may as well tell me. Yeah.
So I'm on this boat, and I was pretty much on the boat for the entire day. And in reality, the boat is rocking back and forth. But I didn't know it until I actually saw what was making the noise.
Uh-huh.
So you
What-
guys say that
what are you
we should
demonstrating
feel
that?
some type of movement, right? that that boat is rocking back and forth faster, almost 5 times faster than the rotation of the Earth.
What if you put a cup of water on there? Would the cup sense it?
No, it wouldn't, Kimo. We had a retirement ceremony on the boat.
Hold on. You're saying that if you put a cup of water on there and the boat tilted, the water wouldn't tilt, wouldn't level up?
Not obviously. It's only
boat,
3 inches.
Yeah.
But the water would
Kimo's
level
right
up,
about
yeah?
this. The water would remain level.
Mm-hmm.
The cup wouldn't.
Exactly.
He's trying to get you in a perspective trap.
Well, the
it's
point
not
is,
that he understands it. He's trying to.
Can you just explain why the water and people don't fly off the ball?
I didn't feel the movement, and neither did any of the other people that were on the boat with me.
I didn't say we'd feel it. I never argued about feeling it. I said we would fly
isn't
off
that y'all's
the ball.
argument? We don't feel movement on the
I didn't
Earth,
say
so
feeling it. I never said
not
feeling
spinning?
it. I didn't say feel the movement.
That's what you guys always say.
Other people have said feel it, but that's never been my argument. I don't think you would feel it, even if it was a ball.
So we shouldn't feel the movement.
I just
of the
jump
Earth.
back in, people. That ludicrous speed of Earth's rotation video is another really good video.
Oh, Eggshell, are you still here?
No, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I thought you'd gone to bed.
People, really nice video. Really nice video. See you later.
You're not tired, or you just can't sleep? Are there mere crickets chirping at night? What's the problem? Do you have crickets?
So that's not the claim anymore that we should.
No.
Feel
Some
the
flatties
Earth's
do
movement?
say you should feel. Like Jim will say, I can't feel it. But I understand you wouldn't feel it anyway because it's you don't feel acceleration or something like this, right? You always argue about on a plane you don't feel it. But what we would know, what would happen, we would fly off the ball. And the water and objects would also fly off the ball. And hold on, last point.
Kimo,
and all the water, let me explain. All the water on the Earth would meet up in the middle and merge. One big giant like hill of water around the equator if the Earth was spinning. And that doesn't happen.
Right?
Kimo, the point of the video is to show that the boat is actually rotating or moving faster than the Earth is spinning.
Oh, that's fine. I don't think you'd feel it, but I think you would fly off if something is spinning.
Did you fly off the boat?
No, I didn't fly off the boat. Neither did the other 100.
If the boat tilted enough, you would fly off the boat.
Enough. Good word, Kimo.
Well, obviously, in a storm, yeah. In a storm.
You're learning about magnitude.
Spinning at all. You wouldn't feel the Earth spinning, you don't think, but you'd feel yourself being thrown off, yeah?
You'd fly off, yeah. Because if you're on a plane, they say you can't really feel like the acceleration, that kind of stuff. So I mean, again, that's something that, you know. But again, if you were on the plane and it was moving, you would fly off the plane.
Right.
So
thank you. So it's the same thing would be on the ball. The same thing applies. This is exactly what I mean. That's my analogy. If you're on the Earth spinning at that speed, you're going to know that. There's no way a human being wouldn't know it's moving at the speed of sound.
How are you going to hold on to the ball?
I don't care what you're saying.
Did you miss the conversation?
We've got too many senses.
Jim, did you miss the conversation?
Too many senses.
You obviously missed what we were talking about.
Yeah,
but look,
the boat that I was. So if you watch the video that I posted, the boat that I was on is moving back and forth. It's literally moving and then stopping and then moving in the other direction. So why wouldn't I feel that?
Well, that's just the motion in the ocean, not a big deal. Talking about a moving Earth in a vacuum.
But the point is that I didn't feel it. Nobody felt it.
So what?
So why should we feel the spin of the Earth?
How you wouldn't feel that?
So why do you think we should feel the spin of the Earth?
I don't understand.
You would fly off the Earth. You're not listening.
Why?
But the boat is moving faster
when
than
something
the
is
Earth.
spinning,
that's the point.
You cannot hold on to the spinning object.
Look, the Earth is not moving. The Earth isn't moving anymore.
How do you hold on to a spinning object?
You answer the question. Why wouldn't he fall off the boat? Or why? If the boat was spinning faster than the Earth, why would the Earth throw you off if the boat didn't throw you off?
The boat would throw you off if it tilted.
It won't throw you
tilting
off.
though.
I don't see how a boat can be.
It was moving.
So
it
the
was
boat
moving
was
about
moving
5
faster than the
times
speed of
faster.
sound.
It was moving
What?
about 5
The
times
boat was
faster. Then
moving
it
5
stopped.
times faster than the
Then
speed
it
of
moved back in
sound.
the other direction. Don't you think I would be able to feel that?
That's rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. That's absolute rubbish.
What's rubbish?
What
you're
a
saying?
boat moving 5. Let me get it out then. A boat 5 times the speed of sound.
I know, a boat moves at 5 miles an hour. What are you talking about?
No.
Oh, 5
Earth
miles an hour.
rotates
That's all. 5 miles an
15
hour.
degrees per hour.
No, the boat.
Correct.
How
If
fast
you
does
watch
the boat
the video,
move?
the boat is moving faster than 15 degrees
What's
per
the
hour.
speed? How many miles per hour?
If you watch the video, you will see.
You said you're going to narrate it for me. How fast does it say he's going miles per hour?
You'd have to do your calculation on that.
Again,
So,
he's going at least
but
5 miles an hour.
What I know
What's
is that
5
the boat
miles
is
an hour?
rotating faster than the Earth.
You can walk
Anyway,
faster
it's
than
a load
5
of
miles an
bollocks
hour.
anyway.
So at 5 miles an hour, you're not going to feel anything. Don't be silly. 1,000 miles an hour, you're going to feel that. See the difference? 5.
Riding on liquid. It's riding
5 miles an hour.
on liquid. Listen, it's riding on liquid. So
we're talking about degrees, the rotation degrees per hour.
Yeah, but those degrees are based on the presupposition that go around a ball. That's what you're trying to prove in the first place. Because you can't beg the question and say, oh, degrees like it goes around a ball. You've got to show.
This node, okay? Again, another hopeless analogy.
You don't feel the movement. That's the point.
The Earth is not a globe, and your analogy is just no good.
Jin, according to who? The Earth's not a globe. According to who? According to you, or according to whoever
you, Be
indoctrinated
More for Life.
you
You
on
can't
YouTube?
present a globe. Show us the globe. You can't prove your own globe. Let's have a look at your globe. You can't. You can only give us a mathematical model that's in your mind, how you think it works, a model how you think it...
Yeah, a model that can actually be... that you can actually model on a small scale.
Yeah, but who cares about that? Show the
you guys
globe.
can't
Show
do
the
it at
reality
all.
of where we
You
live.
can't, for some reason, you guys can't model the flat Earth on a small scale and make it match reality.
Because we don't care about models.
It's funny how we can actually do that and make it match reality.
It just goes over their head. We don't care about models.
Over 1,000 miles an hour.
Like, where's your model? Where's your model? What model? It's a reification.
You know why we harp on models so much, Kimo?
Why?
Do you have any idea why we always talk about models?
I got an idea, but why?
Yeah, why do you think it is?
I think you just.
Why do you think we're always talking about models?
I think you've got the God complex.
Would you expand on that? What do you mean?
You think you know what the creator has designed and built, and you can replicate that in some way. You've got a complex.
You don't think it might be because we see things and we, as humans, have a natural curiosity to figure out how it works, and once we do, we can establish it and actually show it? That doesn't seem slightly plausible?
Yeah, that's how it used to be until they
Like,
discovered...
if I'm a sailboat racer, right?
Uh-huh.
I like watching sailboats, and I like also riding motorcycles. If I want to get better at either of those things, I'm going to go out and I'm going to watch the America's Cup. I'm going to go watch the motorcycle race. I'm going to go watch things. And then I'm going to take what they're doing and I'm going to model it on my little motorcycle or my big fat slow sailboat. But it's not the same thing. It's a model.
Yeah, so hold on, how did you model this motorbike stuff? You went out, you saw it, you came back, you modeled it. You didn't see the Earth. How have you seen the Earth?
I first modeled it at slow speed.
Yeah, but
and then
how
I
have you
modeled it
seen the
again at
Earth to
higher
model
speed.
it though? First place.
Because what I do is I find out I couldn't see the guy's gauges on the motorcycle. I looked at the results that he had. I looked at his positioning coming out of the corner. Okay. How he managed to hold that angular momentum to keep himself firmly in the saddle, not be thrown off. And then I modeled that. I figured out, hey, if I jam the handlebars to the right, I'm going to get flown off.
Right.
But if I lean and I give a little counter steer, whatever it is, then I can do it.
And I bet after you did that, you were like, "Woohoo! I did it! I've discovered." Yeah. Right? What did I just say? What did I just say about this complex that you guys have? Okay.
And it was cool
let me finish. Let me respond
people.
to you. So you were saying, and this is a man-made thing that you've discovered, that you've modeled, and then you were like, "Woohoo! I figured it out. Now I can defeat him, be as good as him, compete with him, be like him, be higher than him, be better than him, because I understand how his working device works. I understand his situation, and that's what you're trying to do. And that's what you're trying to do with God's creation. You're trying to say, I can model it. Woohoo! I figured it out." But you're still scratching your head because you can't answer simple questions.
But that's
the point.
Not correct
at
all.
When you model man-made things, of course, you can pat yourself on the back because you figured out someone else's idea.
When I watch the America's Cup, or I watch the motorcycle race, whatever it is.
All man-made.
And all man-made, fine.
All man-made, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Doesn't actually matter worth a shit.
If it's a man-made idea, then I can think of it, you can think of it, anyone can think of it.
Kimo?
But if the creator thought of it, you could never think of it, right? That's the point.
Why?
That's the point. You're thinking, why can't I think like the creator? That's the point. You can't. How can you?
I can't look at the results and figure out why they happened.
What, did God hand you the results? Did God hand you the blueprints for his creation?
No, but he shows me the results every day when I go outside.
Where? Let me see the results. Let's have a look then.
Sure, it's called the natural world.
What results do you have?
You always say this. Let's have a look. What do you exactly want to look at?
He said he's got results. What results has he got?
I have the results of the natural world, regardless of how it was created.
You always say that. Let's have a look. What the fuck do you want to?
Let's have a look then.
We want to see the air pressure at the North Pole.
He's saying, hey Jeremy, he's saying that he's got the results, he's got the evidence, and I'm interested in what that is. I'm saying that he cannot replicate the creator's creation, just like with this car.
Hold on. You want to hear some of the results? You want to hear some of the things that we can observe?
What?
We can observe sunsets.
So what?
Sunset. We can observe the sun not changing angular size in the sky throughout the day.
What? We know the answer.
We can observe a horizon.
So what?
All three of those are impossible on a flat Earth.
All explained on a flat Earth. All of it.
Zero explained. You know that. Zero explained on a flat Earth.
So dumb. All impossible on a flat Earth.
So the sun getting smaller. You need to go higher to get out of the magnification layer. It does get smaller. The horizon is not physical, so you don't have a geometrical location.
Kimo, have you ever watched an airplane fly away?
Yes.
Does it get smaller in size?
Yes.
As it flies away from you?
Yep.
Okay, so what you just said about the magneto layer causing things to get smaller when looking through it is complete bullshit unless...
Funny how that doesn't happen with the sun.
Where do you see planes in nature?
Where do you...
Nowhere.
We see perspective.
Screw it. Make it a bird.
They got God's blueprint, Kimo. They think they got the creator's blueprint.
No.
Oh, shit. Jeremy's got proof. Let's see it, Jeremy.
For the sake of this, I'm even giving you your God.
This guy's acting like he knows everything that's going on in the sky and shit.
No,
it's not about knowing what's going on in the sky. It's about just observing what's going on in the sky.
And attempting to replicate
and knowing
the
how
results.
it works. And know, if you don't just look at something and know how it works.
You observe.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to
replicate
replicate
look at something
the results.
And know how it works.
Okay, so we have figured out the sun and the horizon. We've replicated it with an experiment. You don't have an experiment. You're just saying no, whatever. Where's your experiment to show how the sun works?
Well, where's your small scale model to show us exactly how it works, Kimo?
We're not making a claim to any model. We're not
exactly. We don't have a model either. Yes.
That's your.
That was the whole point of this.
The claim is the ball is not there.
Like it works.
Your model is pussy class shit.
Jen, stop it.
Okay,
stop
I'm just going to turn down Jen if he's going to scream.
Yeah, there's no reason having a conversation with him.
So, Kimo, my question again goes, all of these things, whether it's motorcycle riding, looking at a bird in the atmosphere, we can make a model and explain how it works. Because a model has explanatory and predictive powers.
Yeah,
that's why we're so obsessed.
That is true.
That's why we're so. I'm still talking. That's why we are so obsessed with a model, and that's why we find it so abhorrent that a flat Earth cannot.
Your model does not. The model you have today
Kimo, I'm going to turn him down.
does not predict anything.
Don't talk over
Nothing.
him.
He's going to stop.
Yeah, but just don't talk over him.
Yeah, he doesn't offer anything to the conversation.
Well, if he can do it, we can do it. Maybe.
What? Over talk him?
Yeah.
But he doesn't offer anything. He's just
get me in trouble, Jim.
So that's why we insist on models and things. It's a demonstration of how it works in reality. So when a flat earther tells me they don't have a model, that's basically them saying, I don't know, and I can't even guess.
Yeah, that's
so
right. You're correct.
It's admitting you lost before you even showed up to the table.
No, we're not about to reify.
This is such horseshit.
Yeah, we're not about to guess. It's not a guessing game, is it? Like, you guess the best answer, and so on and so forth. What we want to be able to do is predict the cause of an effect in nature. And if we see the sun...
You don't even try.
Yeah, if we see the sun give us an effect...
By saying, I don't have a model, you're saying, I can't even try to predict what's going on.
Are you not listening?
And then when we represent the model, we show you exactly how it matches what we see in reality, you still reject it.
Our prediction, B-Ball for Life and Kool-Aid, the predictions we make are the causes to the effect. That's when we say prediction, we're trying to predict what
predictions.
Hold on, Kimo. Where's their model? Have you seen it?
Their model, they don't have one yet. No.
Let's see it. Oh, they don't have it.
Google Earth.
Yeah, and that's false.
Google Earth is there's no elevation drop. It's referencing a flat plane.
Do you think elevation is the same thing as curvature, sir? Because that's just dumb.
There's no drop. It's referencing a horizontal plane.
I brought up a point this morning, Jeremy, that blind people could
Google
even
Earth is not a contour
I brought up a
map.
point
You
this
need
morning
a
that blind
contour map
people
to
could
show
even
elevation,
know if the Earth is
Jeremy.
curving or
You know
not. But how would a blind person know if the Earth is curving?
Do you know what a contour map is?
There's also there's no sun. All you have is the Earth in there.
Do you know what a contour map is, Jeremy?
It's shaped. It's spherical in shape for your religious beliefs. However, it's not referencing any drop.
No, a contour
it's
map
all based off
shows
of
the
a
elevation.
horizontal plane in Google Earth. We've gone over it. I mean,
Google
I don't
Earth
know why
is
you
not
guys
a
haven't seen
contour
it.
map. It's
Give us the elevation drop then.
No, he's trying to say that Google Maps doesn't show elevation change.
Okay,
which
does show
or not
elevation
that's
change?
true doesn't have a damn thing to do with curvature because elevation is not curvature. For fuck's sake.
So where is the model that has curvature?
Okay. Time for sashimi, right?
Which model has curvature in it?
The heliocentric globe model has
so what's
all
the
of the things you're asking.
radius?
Where is it?
Hold on, what's the radius of that model? Don't even know.
49, 59.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Well, how can we falsify it if you don't tell us?
Well, how can we falsify yours when you're so proud of not having one?
We're gonna look at your model. Your globe model is our globe model. We're all on the Earth together. We're all told about the model together. So we're saying that it's 3959. So we're gonna go out there and test it, right? Have you tested it?
I've shot lasers off the moon.
No, the Earth, not the moon.
Well, I've tested the distance.
And by the way, you shot it off the ionosphere, not the moon. By the way.
No, I actually shot it off the moon, and I know that because the first time we attempted the experiment, we missed the retroreflectors and got no signal.
Sure you did, but let's get back to the Earth.
What's this guy's name, Kimo?
This is Kool-Aid. Don't drink the
Kool-Aid. The guy that's debating the globe Earth model and didn't know the radius? Sorry, just checking.
Yeah, doesn't know the radius of his own model. Come on, drink the Kool-Aid.
What's the radius of the flat Earth?
Yeah.
We don't know. No one's measured it. Who knows?
You don't know.
And so you're arguing for it, but you don't even know about it. That's great.
Yeah, we never claimed to know. We never claimed to have a model. He's claimed to have a model with a...
Yes, you. He has to do with
Okay,
the
seems like you
radius.
why
guys,
do
it
all
seems like you
nautical
guys
chart?
never actually want to talk about the flat Earth. Why is that?
Because we don't have a
Why
model.
do
What's to talk about? We see flat Earth, we
Exactly. So
observe
what's
flat
the
Earth.
what are you trying to argue for? What are you
so?
arguing for?
We're
When you
arguing
say you don't have a
against the
model, you're
globe
agreeing
model.
you
We're
brought
trying to
nothing
falsify
to
the
the fight.
heliocentric model. That's why we asked Kool-Aid for the radius, so we can debunk that radius. That's what we're looking for.
Our model matches reality. What does your model match?
Well, the globe model should match reality. That's what we're going to find out.
How far away? How far away is the sun in your model?
They say 93 million miles away.
In your model, 93 million. If it's 93 million miles away from the flat Earth, why can't we all see it at the same time? That'd be pretty
That's
far.
when we go outside and test and check the physical world.
So if it's 93
that's the model,
million miles
not
away
reality.
from the
That's
flat
the
Earth,
model. The model says that.
how does it get low enough to get to the horizon if it's 93 million miles away from the flat Earth?
But no one said anything about a
Kimo.
flat Earth. The model is a globe Earth.
Well, that's what we're talking about now. We're talking about flat Earth now.
But no flat Earther has a model, not one.
Right.
Well, why not?
And why is that?
Because there are no.
Why
that's
don't?
because
Why
I'll tell
don't
you
you
why.
even
the
try
reason
to
why.
come to the conversation?
The reason why it's a
It's-
reification fallacy. Models are a fallacy.
Models
they're
are
not.
a fallacy. That's a cop out.
Now that you asked why don't we have a model, and I'm telling you why we don't have fallacies, because we believe they are a
Because
fallacy.
when you guys the reason why you guys don't have a model is because every time you guys try and make one, you realize that it doesn't match
We
reality.
have a globe model.
That's why you guys always say, "Oh, that's a straw man. That's a straw man," because you know that your model doesn't match reality.
Look, you see like QE and Nathan and everybody with the Black Swan. That means we accepted your 3959. So we allowed the begging of the question. We went with that number and we went out to find out if that was the right size. So we've already got a model, the globe model, but it's broken. We have broken geometry.
You chose a day with broken cranes that are bended and won't lift my fat ass off the ground.
Which is why they went back
So,
the next day, and the next day, and the next
congratulations.
day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
And it's always
Didn't
funny.
get the
Yeah, and
same
exactly. They didn't
results.
get the same video.
Yeah,
same
they got a
picture.
different horizon, a different place.
But you know who does keep getting the same results?
Who?
Bob. Thanks, Bob.
What result did he get?
Yep.
15 degrees per hour.
Of what?
The rotation of the Earth.
Oh my God. Dude, you've been in this game longer than I
Yeah,
have.
but
You know who
stop
Bob
bringing
is.
up
You're
things
just
if you're not
playing
going to talk
stupid
about.
now.
Yeah, but okay, but if you're going to bring up things, you've got to talk about them in case the audience hasn't heard about them. So you're saying Bob did something. What did Bob do?
You know what Bob did.
Yeah,
Don't
I know
play
what
stupid.
Bob did, but the audience does not know what Bob did. Let's talk about what Bob did.
Everyone in this,
What did Bob do?
everyone in this
Spurs,
community
what did
knows
Bob
what
do?
Bob did.
Bob,
So
Bob,
stop
what
it.
did Bob do? Spurs, what did
Bob
Bob do?
proved the
Spurs?
flat Earth. Bob proved
did
the
Bob
flat
do?
Earth. Bob proved the flat Earth.
Everyone knows what Bob
Bob
did.
proved
so
the flat
stop
Earth.
it.
That's what Bob did.
How
Now
did he
you're
do it?
saying Bob did
Bob
something.
No, he didn't.
proved the rotation of the Earth at
How did he
least
do that?
3 times.
How did Bob do that?
One time he did it through
Because
an
he said it
infrared
himself.
ring laser gyroscope. One time he did it through a mechanical gyroscope. And the third time he did it through a combination of the two while in a
Can I talk
parabolic Gauss chamber.
Excellent,
Can I
excellent.
talk to
So hold
Kimo
on,
for a
Jeremy.
second,
So
please?
hold on.
Just give me. Just,
Hold on. So look,
give-
you're saying that Bob did an experiment with a gyro. He had an effect in this
No,
machine.
he did an observation.
Why,
He
Kimo,
did
why are
an
you playing
observation.
dumb as if you don't know what we're talking about?
Because
Stop
again,
playing
this is
dumb.
for the audience who are not aware.
The
that
audience knows exactly what we're talking about.
How do you know
So
that?
stop
Do you
it.
know
If
who the
anybody-
audience are? Do you know the audience
Oh,
members?
trust me, I know. Everyone that's listening
Do you
has
know
been
the
in this
audience
conversation
members
for a long
people
time.
for life? Who are the
Tell-
audience members?
Tell you what,
Most
if
of the
anybody in the
Can I say
audience
one thing,
doesn't
Kimo, real
know
quick?
the argument,
Well, who are the audience
if
members
anybody in
people
the
for life?
audience
Do you know them?
doesn't know the argument, if will you put a 1 in chat and we'll explain it? If not, we can move the hell on because everybody knows it.
Yeah, let me say something to Kimo real quick. See how he brought up the gyro right there? Now, Bob claims to have the gyro compass rotation deviating for 15 degrees an hour. If we had that evidence, Kimo, he wouldn't have said shit about the gyro just now. But
And
Bob,
there's a reason
not giving
why
us
he
the evidence
hasn't
for some
released
reason.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
know
want to
why.
go
It's
through
better-
the
it's better
experiment
teeth.
now. This is what
Jeremy,
I want to
fuck up,
find
Kimo.
out what the
Jeremy.
hold on a second, Cypher. So Kool-Aid, you said Bob did an experiment.
No.
Walk me through what he did
Did that?
and how
I've
did he
said
prove.
Bob did observations.
So he looked at something.
Look in the
Correct.
chat. Look in the chat. C4 just posted
Thank
some
you,
stuff
C4.
So Bob
from that
looked at
specific conversation.
The Kool-Aid.
Well, that's what I was going to ask Jeremy, Kimo. Didn't you join FA Core today, Jeremy, to get the results of that gyro test? You said you were going to do that yesterday.
No,
right, what's with the derating here?
That,
trying to find out from Kool-Aid what Bob did
for the gyro unless you
so even if you pay for them, you still don't get the results of the gyro test.
I just wanted to say, I was still talking, bro. I just wanted to say, Kimo, do you see now? This guy wouldn't have brought this gyro thing up if Bob had released the 16, 17, 18 degree per hour drift that he claims to have caught, but he's not releasing it for some reason, and we're still getting the gyro thrown in our face.
So you have
Why do you think he won't release it, Jeremy?
I don't know. Why do you think he won't release it, Kimo?
Because he doesn't have it. He's a lying piece of shit, as demonstrated on his
But I thought you said he
YouTube
proved the
channel
rotation.
and Netflix.
Make your mind up. Either you agree with him or disagree with
He
him.
attempted to hide it.
Kimo, how about you read the post that I just posted from Bob Nodell?
Well, I'm asking
Can you read it
Kool-Aid
out
what
loud for us?
experiment he did to conduct
Kimo.
rotation.
Kimo.
Poor just put it in
Can you
chat.
read the thing I just posted.
Well, read it out
From
then.
Bob.
Let's listen to it.
Go ahead. No. I want you to read it.
Well, it's your claim, so you read it.
I want you to read it. No.
Okay, so I'm not reading it. It's not my claim. I'm asking about this claim. You can tell me about this claim if you wish.
I'll read it. Okay.
Okay, you read it.
Kimo, did you hear what I said?
From Bob Nodell.
Kimo, did you hear what I said?
No. Jeremy,
I
hold
heard
on.
Jeremy.
Hold on a second.
You didn't hear what I said?
I heard you.
From Bob Nodell. Yeah, we thought it was pretty straightforward. And I, for one, never expected for the fiber optic gyro to pick up a rotational reading commensurate with the rotation of the Earth.
Okay, so what does that mean? Is that
That
science?
means he picked up a rotation.
But I'm asking about the science
Of the
behind it, not
Earth.
what was said. I'm talking about the science. Now, I've heard from Kool-Aid, he said he looked at something. How is looking at something science?
Oh, we're just gonna skim past. We're just gonna skim past what Bob just said, right?
Bob
What I
could
just
say
read?
the Earth is a globe flying through space. It's not what he says, it's what actions have been taken to come to this conclusion. You understand?
What they did was they tested it many times,
Mm-hmm.
and they did everything they could to block this rotation, but they couldn't.
Okay, so what was the observed
Actually, I have a
phenomenon for
different
this
answer.
experiment?
I have a different answer for why it wasn't released.
So what was
And
the
that
observed?
that would
Kool-Aid,
be
hold
the
on,
super
Kool-Aid.
chats he
Do you not hear me,
receives
Kool-Aid? Do you not hear me? So what was the observed phenomenon for Bob's experiment?
So once again,
Mhm.
for at least the fifth time, Bob did an observation.
What did he see?
He
Actually,
didn't do
what
an
was the
he
observation?
didn't do an experiment. Hey, I'm talking now. You can shut up. Bob did an observation. He didn't do an experiment. He observed the Sagnac effect in the fiber optic gyro. Somebody remind me how to say it correctly. He also observed the mechanical gyro drift 15 degrees an hour.
Okay.
He claims that he has observed it, both of which he has released, by the way.
Okay.
He claims he has observed it moving at 18 degrees an hour, but that one can't be released.
Okay, so again,
Because
I'm asking
reasons.
you.
I just posted Hang on, Kimo. I just posted a video up of it's a clip from the Behind the Curve documentary, and it's Bob measuring the rotation. But there's another bit in the middle of it where he actually turns around and says, "Oh, we can't actually measure it. It can't be, it can't be done." Whereas he's done it. That was at the clips from the Behind the Curve documentary. But then there's an interview with him from the FEIC. I think it was in 2018. Where he's talking to a reporter and he actually says, "Oh, we can't measure that. Oh, what are you talking about?"
Okay.
So, which is it?
Okay, but
also
again,
in that documentary, he turns to a flat earther and says, "We can't release what we have right now. It would destroy our side." Or it would be bad.
Yep.
Thank you. So, therefore, showing that
in that video
his
too.
honesty level is not beyond reproach. But Foolish Decisions had a really good question.
Hold on, don't derail like that. You've made a point. I want to be able to respond to it. You need to go into Foolish.
Okay.
So you said
wants to go down to.
You
he
said
wants to go down to
Don't
what's an
mention
observed
Foolish's name.
phenomenon.
Just
Yeah, you said that Bob did an observation. Okay. So what did Bob observe? Something in a device. Where is rotation, Earth rotation in it? Where do you observe the Earth rotating in all of that?
The device measures rotation. That's what the device
What
does.
rotation? What rotation?
The Sagnac effect.
Okay, the effect. Okay, so you're gonna manipulate your
Sagnac.
Okay, I heard you. You have an effect.
Sagnac. It's Sagnac. You don't say cognac. Cognac. Sagnac.
Yeah. Okay, so we have an effect.
Fair enough.
You have an effect. Kool-Aid. You said it 3 times. We have an effect. What is the cause of that effect? You said it's the Earth rotation.
Fuck up, Kimo.
Okay.
Kimo, can you do me a favour? No, never mind. It's cool. Rig, can you check your DMs in a second, please?
So Kool-Aid, you have this effect, the Sagnac effect. What is the cause of this effect?
The rotation of the body that it finds itself on.
Okay, good. So how are you going to manipulate your variable?
So why would you manipulate a variable in an observation unless you were attempting to destroy the validity of that observation?
Well, you said the cause of the Sagnac effect was the Earth rotation.
No, I did not.
Okay, so what is the cause of this effect? Try again. This effect, what is the cause of this effect that you're describing?
It is caused by being placed on a rotating body.
Rick, can you check your DMs, please, man?
So the cause is rotation, yeah? That's what you go with.
Yes.
So how did you manipulate?
That's a simplistic way to look at it, but
how did you manipulate your cause to the effect?
Why would you do that in an observation unless you are attempting to void the observation?
Because you want to make sure that the cause is to this effect.
So that would be an experiment that would void and remove any validity from an observation. This would be the same as Bob releasing his 18 degree per hour. It would invalidate the other or at least throw questionable light on the other observations.
Well, there you go.
So why would you manipulate? Why would you do what you're asking for? And why would you do what you're asking for and destroy your observation halfway through it?
Because you have an effect, yes? Yes, you have an effect.
I can't think of another way to ask this question.
You have an effect. You understand cause and effect?
Yes, I understand cause and effect relationship.
Good. So we have a cause to this effect. You said your predicted cause was the Earth rotating. Therefore, you would need to...
No, it was not.
Oh, it's not the
cause.
cause.
One more time. That was still not the cause.
Oh, that's
Kimo,
not the cause.
This is now the 6th time I've corrected you on the same point, sir.
So it's
please try to listen.
So the Earth...
And when you repeat it back to me, please don't get it wrong.
So the Earth rotation is not the cause of the...
I'm still talking because you don't listen.
I just want to be clear, so we're clear on the question. That's why we're getting it wrong.
Okay, let me be clear.
No, let me be clear on my question, because you're not getting my question. So Bob's rotation, 15 degrees, was caused, or the Sagnac was it caused by Earth's rotation or another rotation?
Rotation of the body in which it finds itself.
And what was that?
They sealed it in a zero Gauss chamber in bismuth to stop the heaven energies from influencing it, remember?
What was the body it was on?
They still got a rotation.
What was the body it was on?
Well, in his experiment, his observation, it was Earth.
Okay, so you're saying the Earth caused this 15 degrees?
No.
No, what caused it?
The rotation
of the Earth.
The body it was on.
Is that the Earth? Is that the Earth?
In this situation, it is, yes.
So the body of Earth caused this effect.
You can actually get the same effect in a different direction or in a different amplitude by putting it on a different body and rotating it?
No. You're saying that this effect...
validating the cause and effect relationship between the Sagnac effect and the observed drift.
Okay, so you're saying that this... you're saying that this 15 degrees is caused by the Earth's rotation. Yeah? Is that correct?
Okay, I'm going to break this down as Barney style as I possibly can.
Okay.
Yes.
Barney style.
Yes.
When you put when you observe this effect while the tool is sitting on the Earth, it is the Earth's rotation.
Okay.
However, you can get the same effect on other bodies, such
Okay,
as
I'm not talking about other bodies. I'm talking about the Earth.
Okay.
Yes, Earth. All right, 1 second.
So when it was on the Earth, it observed 15 degrees per hour.
Cool. Gyros hold their rigidity in space, you're telling me.
So we're talking
Do gyros
about
hold their rigidity in space?
We're talking about the Sagnac effect. If you would like to weigh in about the Sagnac effect, I would love to hear your opinion.
Sure,
Otherwise,
when they measured the Sagnac effect, when they measured well, this is a gyro, right? That's holding its rigidity in space.
Okay, once again, we're talking about the Sagnac effect. If you'd like to, intervene
I
on
have
the
something to say
Sagnac
about the Sagnac effect. You don't need to fucking say that again.
Okay.
How much ether did they? How much deviation did they get when they measured the Sagnac effect?
Which time? It's been measured many times, and it's been measured on many different bodies.
Yeah, but you're missing the point. We're talking about the cause to this 15 degrees.
Yeah, it kind of sucks when somebody doesn't answer your questions and talks around them, doesn't it?
No, you did answer it. You said the Earth. The Earth is causing this 15 degrees.
Okay.
Okay. Now, to make sure that the Earth is actually causing these 15 degrees and not something else like the stars or the ether or anything like this, you're going to have to manipulate your independent variable. Otherwise, it doesn't agree with your hypothesis. Then?
You know, I was taught that in school too.
You just said to me, you just said to me that the Earth.
The weird thing
you
about
just
that
said to me the
definition
Earth.
of the experiment.
You just said the Earth caused this 15 degree causes.
So
you haven't seen
the really
the Earth.
weird thing about the definition of that experiment that you're using is as soon as I changed majors out of the soft sciences, that definition changed, and that was no longer a required part of the experiment.
What's a soft science? Can you tell us what soft science is?
Sure.
But still, though, where we are now is that you're saying that I think it's because of the Earth's rotation. This is how I'm getting this effect, because I think it's the Earth's rotation. Not because I know, I haven't tested if it's the Earth, but according to my machine, it tells me, yep, my presupposition that the Earth is spinning, and yet my machine agrees with me. That's what you're saying. So how do you know it's the Earth and not something else? How do you know it's the Earth and not something else?
Because when we put the instrument on a different body and rotate it at a different speed, we get a different result.
What, the ether or the star rotation has stopped? The sun rotation has stopped? What do you mean?
Here's a really cool thing that somebody else mentioned, and I'm sorry I didn't catch who that was. Bob did that, and he put it in a Gauss in a zero bismuth chamber and did all these different things to isolate it from all this stuff that he made up. And you know what? Didn't change a damn thing.
He also claims to have gotten 18 degrees drift per hour with altitude.
He does, but he won't release that information almost as if
none of that
he
even matters
actually have
anyway,
it.
because you still have a hypothesis without an experiment.
It's almost like they're afraid of the results.
Bob's results don't even matter because, again, without an experiment, it's not science. It's pseudoscience. It's what you believe to be true.
So what Bob did wasn't a scientific experiment then, Kimo?
Yeah, if it's a hypothesis without an experiment, then it's not science. You need that experiment.
That's
what I've been trying to explain to you, Cypher. It doesn't matter. I've been trying to explain this, Cypher.
You did Bob say in the video that they weren't willing to accept the results of the experiment. They did.
No, that's not an experiment.
Let me make a point real quick.
Well,
before I get out
tell
of here.
Bob that.
I guarantee, had they used that gyroscope and not picked up a rotation, they will be all over that, and they'd be
no, still not an experiment. There wouldn't be an experiment.
Right, I bet.
Well, I bet you still wouldn't be an experiment. He hasn't manipulated his independent variable.
And if Bob had proved that the Earth wasn't rotating with that same experiment
It wouldn't make any
or
difference.
observation, you guys would be pushing that all
No
over the
chance.
place.
In fact, we would further ourselves from that
because
because
he did pick up a rotation.
No.
And he couldn't he couldn't shield the rotation.
Look,
it's not an experiment.
Doofus thinks you
It's
can
not
manipulate
proof.
rotation. You see, that's what you guys are missing. Now, unless Bob or anybody,
No, you can't manipulate the rotation because it's always there.
It doesn't. So you're just guessing, then, aren't you? You're in the hypothesis. It's poetry. I think it's this. I'm sure it's the Earth. It must be the Earth spinning. It's got to be. It should be. Must be. Got be. Should be. All that nonsense. You don't know.
Yeah, you can manipulate the rotation, can't you?
How can you do that, Doofus?
By rotating it.
What, the Earth?
Well, there you go.
What, you can stop the Earth, reverse the Earth, speed it up, all these things, yeah?
Rotate the object that's measuring rotation.
That's the object, yeah. The Earth is causing it, though, so you need to do something to the Earth to show that the effect is different.
The Earth is not the cause. The rotation of the Earth is the cause.
Yes, the rotations. You've got to show the rotations by speeding it up, slowing it down, stopping it, and all these wonderful things.
By rotating the thing that's measuring rotation.
Not the thing that's giving us the effect.
The thing is measuring rotation.
They don't understand, Kimo. They don't know how science fucking works. They think this is some kind of experiment.
They're measuring rotation, so rotate the thing that's measuring it. It's silly.
But you can't manipulate the effect to get the effect. Stop being silly.
Hey,
so
Kimo.
Wait, real quick.
Do you have
Jeremy, so do you think that had Bob proved that the Earth wasn't rotating, you wouldn't be using this as proof?
No chance, no way.
How would he have proved it?
No way. Even if it showed no rotation, this is still not an experiment.
I beg to differ.
Well, again, you have no idea how to do science, then, do you?
Well, we know Jeremy's lying because
We
he's
know they
already
don't.
using a proof that they've never even demonstrated. He's already trying to say that that was evidence.
We've told you, it doesn't
Well,
matter
see,
who it is or their position. If, unless they manipulate their variables, then it's just poetry. It's just, I think,
Kimo,
I hope.
And you can manipulate rotation by rotating the thing that's measuring rotation.
The thing.
Kimo, this is what's been
Kimo,
this is what's been bothering me lately. This guy wouldn't even have brought up Bob if Bob has presented his claim that they've gotten 18 degrees drift per hour, right?
He hasn't presented the evidence for that.
Yeah, he hasn't presented.
It wouldn't even matter if he did.
I know, but if he did, we wouldn't even be If he did, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now. And not only that, they'd be rethinking everything they think. They'd be rethinking everything they think. Can I just, whatever?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Moya. Go, your turn.
Jeremy, why are you citing him?
You interrupted me for that, bitch.
Yes.
You interrupted me.
You're
for that,
citing him over and over again. You've been citing him for days about this, and he haven't presented anything. You have no evidence, evidence that the measurement even took place. And yet you're citing it as if it's gospel. Then you question whether the measurements are right.
I mean, all this thanks, Bob. I've never really understood it. I mean, does any of these guys realize it's not even science that is being conducted?
We're thanking him for proving the rotation of Earth.
That's just nonsense. How could he prove it unless he manipulates the Earth's rotation?
You only have to manipulate the rotation.
Gyroscope. Yeah, he just sat and watched the expensive gyroscope that he bought, or they bought.
And I think it's just for the show. For television. No big deal.
Kimo, the point is, if Bob presents this evidence that he has of 18 degrees per hour drift, not only would we not be talking about this, but they'd have to rethink everything they think they know about Coriolis. Why is Bob not? Why is Bob? Can I just fucking finish this goddamn sentence, please? So why is Bob not presenting this? It's making me wonder, Kimo. Big time.
There is also the video, Jeremy, of he and Nathan sitting in Bob's office watching it rotate and say, yeah, you can see it's moving. Like, as we're sitting here, it's moving. It's doing something. What's going on?
Something wrong with you
know what
guys.
I'm saying, Kimo? It's got me wondering big time about why he's not presenting this evidence and helping us in this battle that we're fighting here.
To me, Jeremy, it doesn't make any difference anyway, really. I mean, again, this is not science in the least. I mean, how can you just build a device and say, my device is detecting rotation just because I say so? This is nonsense.
No, because it measures rotation. That's what we see.
Listen to me, because it measures, because it does, because it measures rotation, just because it does. Like, what? What are you talking about? What? Where's the?
Does your internet work?
This is just absolutely absurd. Just because it does.
That's what that device is designed to do: is measure rotation.
Is it? Is that what it's designed to do?
Yes, and it can be validated in that you rotate it, it measures the rotation.
Program that way. Interesting. Yeah. So again, this is just not scientific in the least.
I've got a ruler. It measures distance. Really? Does it measure distance? I don't know.
So let's say I put my ruler down and say, oh, I've just measured the Earth's rotation with my ruler because I said so. It went past the star at this speed.
Nope, that ruler measures distance.
Means the Earth
doesn't measure rotation.
Can't just build a device and say the Earth is rotating because of my device. That is ludicrous.
You're right. I completely agree with you. That's why they built the device and then went, oh shit, there's a problem with our device. The Earth is rotating. And they had to come up with ways in which to fix the device for it to work for their intended purpose, such as a pendulous vane. You're right. I mean,
the machine felt the Earth moving, did it? I said, "Oh, yes, the Earth is moving." Like,
it, yeah.
What are
it really screwed them up for a little while, and they had to come up with solutions to it. And
you were like, "Alexa, is the Earth spinning?" Yep, the Earth is spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that.
It is. It's
like
cool.
Alexa, yeah.
I'm glad you finally agree that the Earth is spinning.
Because Alexa says so, right?
No, because it can be detected and measured, and it's as close as we can tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's evidence for it. And that's why we can say things like, thanks, Bob, because the evidence keeps coming back to the surface. 20 years ago, nobody knew who Bob was. Nobody cared.
Right.
Everybody knew that if they were getting in an airplane and that gyroscope didn't work, they probably weren't going to get where they were going to go. Why are we now questioning whether a gyroscope works, sir? I hate
Look,
to break
you
it
have
to you.
Your machine is based on a presupposition that the Earth is already spinning.
No, it's not. No, that's where you're wrong. Again, let me try this one more time. Please try to listen. They built the machine to detect rotation.
Why? Who said? Hold on, whoa, stop. Why did you say it's rotating in the first place?
They built, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding, it was built in order to allow airplane travel to continue in further distances. And they needed to be able to make sure the plane was not going to slam into the ground at some crazy fucked up angle.
No, that's a lie there straight off the bat. That's a lie straight off the bat.
What does it have to do with rotation of the Earth? Why even build the device thinking that
absolutely nothing? That's my point. It has absolutely nothing to do with rotation of the Earth.
Okay.
And they went, oh shit, it's not working because of the rotation of the Earth. That's why they developed pendulous vanes.
That's one idea. That's one idea on why it's not working, or there could be something else.
Yeah, you keep on presupposing the Earth rotation.
It could totally be something else.
Why do you keep on saying rotation then? Why do you keep on saying
the exact same thing and only has that same effect on a rotating body? What else could it be, Jeremy?
Finally. What else could it be? It has to be. It must be.
Good question.
What works exactly like we think it does, but it's something different?
No, we've got there. We've got your answer. It must be the Earth rotating, yeah?
Kimo, has to be. No, that's our best answer.
That's our best answer. It must be the Earth causing this, yeah?
Earth does not rotate. Easily disproved.
Oh, good.
How are you going to do that, Brian?
He said so.
If Earth rotates and causes the planet to deform, i.e. flattens the poles and bulges out at the equator, the centrifugal force would be so great that it would affect plumb bobs. It does not affect plumb bobs.
What's the number on it?
Are
You say it
vertical.
must be. What's the number? What's the exact number? I would like to do the math on it. What's the number?
Does not
What's the
number?
What's the number?
End
You
of
said
story.
it must be. So what's the number?
The number is whatever
We'll
it
leave
takes
it for you to
lift.
do. The Earth is not a ball.
The number is whatever it takes to lift water 23 kilometers high.
Ooh,
Whatever
that's
that
really
numbers
high.
are.
Yeah, that's
Now,
a big number. What do you think that number would be?
Big numbers. We're talking
care
big
what that
numbers.
number is.
Yeah.
Now, open your eyes to the truth.
And if that was on a tennis ball, it would be huge, wouldn't it?
If the
Good thing
Earth
we don't live on
was
a tennis ball.
rotating,
Darn good
if
thing.
the Earth was
We don't live on a
rotating,
globe.
we would see deviation in a plumb bob, and we don't. The Earth is not rotating 100% debunked.
We don't see the Schehallien experiment?
Thank you very
or
much.
the Schehallien
Excellent.
observation?
Not a problem,
Darn.
Jim.
I
Not
guess
a
we should.
problem.
Somebody
Earth
call Schehallien and tell him that
Earth
their mountain doesn't
rotation,
exist.
100% debunked. We do not rotate, or plumb bobs would deviate towards the equator, and they don't.
Kool-Aid, can you explain
End of
then?
story.
Can you answer?
Deviation.
Hey, all right, let's. Brian's got a question. Kool-Aid, can you answer that question? Does the plumb bob would deviate? But your answer is it wouldn't deviate because.
No, that was not my answer.
Oh,
My
it would
answer is
deviate.
the plumb bob does deviate
Plumb
thanks
blob, you
to
said what I said.
the law of
Oh, no, it
of
doesn't.
gravity.
You said
No,
plumb
it
The
blob.
doesn't.
Schehallien experiment says
Like
it
I
does.
said, plumb blob.
See what
No,
I
it
mean?
doesn't.
They
We
will.
use plumb bobs
They're
to
completely
make
Plumb
walls,
bob.
you bloody idiot. What a fucking idiot you are.
Well, hold on. So Kool-Aid.
Or am I wrong?
Plumb bobs
Go on, Jim.
make walls. Brick walls, man. Okay? So they don't deviate.
All right.
This
Can we
kind
get a
of lunatic
response from
shit
the
that they
boy?
come out with.
Let's get a
Plumb
response.
bobs deviate.
Let's get a response, Kool-Aid.
Can we have a coherent response? Something more logical
Let's
than
try.
plumb bobs do deviate.
Please, let's
Sorry.
try.
Fed up.
Over to
You can
Kool-
easily test plumb bobs against a laser plumb bob, which does not deviate because the laser beam is not affected by centrifugal force, and they both read exactly the same.
Look, I just want to know
There is
if it will.
no Earth spin.
I just want to know, Kool-Aid. Do you agree? Disagree? Will it deviate or not deviate? You want to know,
I
Kool-Aid?
think he's in the fridge.
Would I
Kool-Aid
agree
is-
that
You agree
that
or
the
disagree
plumb bob-
with what Brian's just said?
that the plumb bob would deviate with Coriolis? I'm not sure. That's why I asked for the numbers and the angular momentum so I could run the numbers.
The
on
numbers.
Well, yeah.
It means you have. It means that
It means
you have some doubt that Coriolis effect exists, but it doesn't.
5 seconds ago.
What numbers
No,
would you
I
be
have no-
satisfied
I
with?
have
Can
no-
you give me a number that it does exist?
Yeah,
You
sure.
can run the numbers yourself. Work out what force it would take to lift water 23 kilometers high, and then work your own numbers out from that.
You got to laugh.
It is
haven't you?
absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah.
And if you
To the
believe in
highest
this
degree.
complete nonsense, you are brainwashed.
No,
Earth is
their-
not
their brains are
rotating.
liquefied.
It's not spinning.
Yeah.
It is not a globe, because if it was a globe, it would have to spin, and we can definitely disprove the spin. There is no spin.
Interesting.
Now
enough,
let's
I just
move
ran-
on
I just
to
ran some
find
numbers.
out what the hell
Thanks, Bob.
this is we're living on. Let's move on.
I don't know if these are valid
it's
numbers
level
because
playing.
I'm not a mathematician, but I just ran some numbers. There's about a 0.3 difference in gravity at the equator.
Numbers you ran, mate.
And
We're not
it shows
talking
me,
about gravity,
would
are
you
we?
shut-
We're
would
not
you shut up,
talking
Brian?
about
Kimo, would you
gravity.
shut him up, please?
We are talking
Kimo?
about
Can we
gravity.
get let's get
Centrifugal force.
well, Brian, let's
Not
get
a gravity.
Gravity.
Jim,
Kimo?
guys,
Centrifugal force
let's get the globe response.
that lifts water
Just mute
up
him, please.
23 kilometers
No.
and squashes the poles of the planet.
Brian,
I
Now,
was talking
Brian,
about that directly, dumbass.
let's get
You
the globe.
can't,
Now.
Let's
you
get.
have,
Now,
Guys.
I just was interested in the fact that I just ran the 0.3%, which we know is difference between the pole and the equator. And I multiplied that out.
yeah, hang on a second. You have
and,
to admit, though, that
I
you
found
can't
that
be gravity.
24 miles of bulge would happen over about 8,000 miles.
23
Roughly, but
kilometers.
that's using, yes, that's fine.
23 kilometers.
Okay.
23 kilometers.
23
Okay, so
kilometers.
let's see. I'm going to have to go. Is it exactly?
Work out what the centrifugal force of that would be,
Jim talking?
and then look at a plumb bob that does not
Fucking
deviate.
moderation around here is bullshit.
We have totally disproved Earth rotation. Get over it and move on, and let's find out what the hell this is.
All right, Brian. All right. You've got nothing. Mike was asking something.
What do you mean I've got nothing?
You just got words. You haven't done anything. Go ahead, Mike.
What do I need to do? It's fucking common
Put your
sense.
finger out.
Something. Anything.
It's been debunked again and again and again and again. Been
You've got
debunked.
nothing.
I asked for
There is
numbers.
nothing
Boychick's
to
willing to
do.
provide.
Where's
Can we
the
at
evidence of the
least
flat
show
Earth?
him the respect of allowing him to provide the numbers that I asked for?
Well, go ahead. If you must. After the debunk, go ahead.
Okay.
Long and short of it, my numbers don't seem to be accurate. He's right. It was 24 kilometers. I was wrong. So I was
Thank you.
errant in how I ran it.
Remind me not to moderate for you next time, Mike.
Force is powerful enough to lift water 23 kilometers high, it would deviate plumb bobs. And it doesn't. We're not spinning. They
Not
are
according
lying
to, well,
to
the
you.
ballers think otherwise,
It
Brian.
is 100% proven.
They've got a
There is
machine,
no
Brian.
argument about it.
They've got a machine, Brian, that tells them.
Their machine is a bag of shit. A deviation
bag of shit,
would see in a plumb bob.
Well, Brian, what about a pendulum? What about a pendulum instead of a plumb bob?
Brian, mate.
Pendulum, straight
Pendulums
up.
would do the
The
same.
plumb-
They would be biased towards the
Except that you can
Okay, we
figure
need
out where you
order.
are
We
on
need
the
order.
planet.
There's no order.
Yeah, but you can
Brian,
work
we
out.
need order. Cypher, we need
over
order.
it, and let's
Fellas,
move on.
fellas.
Brian, we need
and
some
let's
order.
work
Can't you
out
hear
what the
Spurs?
hell this
Spurs
is
is
we're
asking
living
for order.
on.
Brian,
Brian, we've got to
Spurs is
figure
asking
this
for
out.
order.
We've got to figure this out. They wouldn't lie to us, Brian, I'm sure. And I'm sure if there's a way of figuring out that the Earth is spinning and moving, we'll get it.
The
We'll
Earth
find
is
it.
not spinning, Kimo.
Why would they lie, Brian? Why would they
Figure
lie?
all this stuff out.
Why would they lie?
Brian's the only
They're lying. They're lying because
It's
you know that they
something
would.
anyone can
So they
test for
did
themselves.
because they would, because you said they would. And
No,
Get
then
a laser plumb
know
bob.
that they lied
Get a
because they
weighted
said they
plumb
would.
bob.
Why?
And then there,
Test,
you could just make up anything you want. Anything you want. You
test
could just
one
say,
against the other, and you
they
will see
lied.
there is no
See,
deviation.
this isn't
with
true
the-
because they lied, and this isn't true because they lied.
I'm not saying you're
And
This is
lying.
all they've
then
got
again,
now. All they can do
the
is
other
talk
thing
over
is
you.
that you know
Not
they
yet.
lied. So because they lied, we can lie. As flat earthers, we're free to lie. We're encouraged to lie.
Who's
That's
lying?
the way of the work.
No, we don't
Who's
lie.
lying?
We
We
ask
I'm
live
not
to
questions.
lie.
lying.
We lie to live.
We
Who's
don't
lying?
lie,
The way
Curve.
of the flirt.
Curve.
Curve, we
Who's
don't
lying?
lie.
Brian, if you shut your mouth and listen to what Kurt said, would have made sense to you.
Curve, we ask questions.
Just shut up and listen for a minute, Brian. You
You're
keep talking
lying,
over everyone.
Kimo.
You like to shut
Why
up
wouldn't
and
you lie, Kimo?
You
You're
are
Why
lying.
would we
fucking
lie?
deceived.
You're
You are
insane,
not living
Rabbit.
on a spinning ball.
Where's your
You're
evidence about
hereby
flat Earth, you
determined
over
to
it.
be discordially insane.
Okay, I think we've got order now again. So
You're
look,
lying, Kimo. We know you're lying because you would lie. You've been known to lie. You've been caught lying. You've been suspected of lying. You've been accused of lying. You always sound like you're lying. Therefore, you are lying, Kimo.
right,
Okay,
Brian,
what's the next topic?
we're working very hard to get evidence that the Earth is actually spinning, rotating, because I don't think they would lie. Why would they lie? And there's no reason to lie. And if they've got the proof, then they have the
You're
truth.
lying now. It's in direct opposition to what you were just saying. You know that they lie. You know that they're lying.
Yeah, why would they
No,
lie?
why would they lie?
That's the
You don't
question
think they're
exactly.
lying?
Why would they lie? Why would they lie?
Kimo, can you hold a position for longer than like till your next sentence?
Look, the Earth, as Brian and Jin and Jeremy and the Flat Earthers inform you guys, there is no movement, rotation to the Earth. And we're trying to find out if there is and how we can detect it. Okay?
Why are Jeremy's questions not important? Jeremy asked a question earlier, and somebody was starting to answer it, and you just trampled all over it, Kimo. You're like Bob. You have no respect for those people out that have been arguing for years in the trenches, Coriolis and whatnot.
And Jin, sorry. Oh, I said Jin.
Jin doesn't argue anything. You know, Jin's an actual lunatic, out of his fucking mind.
No, I mean, again, these are going to be your peers. These are the people who you will look up to once they reveal the truth.
I'm sorry, Kimo, I don't want to be rude, but this is a really stupid conversation, so I gotta go. You guys have a good one.
Well, that's because Curved. Well, let's not go there.
Take care. Take care. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Let's be nice.
Now.
So look, again, Brian is asking good questions. Jin is asking good questions. Jeremy asking fantastic questions. I mean, we're all asking questions about the spin, rotation. Now, why wouldn't the water either gather at the equator and fly off, as any spinning object that we know? What is the response? Any global response?
Kimo, not only would you have from the spin, would you have the water gathering at the equator, but you'd also have the water gathering at the equator because of the tides. They claim the moon and the sun both go through the tropics, so that's where you would see the biggest bulge of water from that and the spin.
What's the answer? What keeps the water in place when it's spinning? I imagine it's been spinning for. It's been spinning since the Big Bang.
No, it's not. It's not spinning. There's no Big Bang.
No,
it's all
in their
big fairy
model,
tale.
has it been spinning since the beginning?
Yeah, but their model doesn't match
spinning
reality.
from the beginning, innit? As soon as that first lump of rock. Yeah.
Their model doesn't match reality, though, Kimo.
Well, you're all wrong when you say it's spinning. It's rotating, not.
Is it been spinning from the beginning, then? Yeah.
Hang on, we should let the flat earthers work this out.
Okay, so if it's been spinning from the beginning, when the first droplets of water dropped onto that spinning ball, how did it even stay on the Earth? How's that even possible?
Well, the 99.007% gravity that still holds things down.
Whoa. Grava who?
Yeah.
Grava what? Grava who? What is this? Grava what?
Gravity? Which one are you talking about?
Whoa. Don't just start invoking stuff, Moyak. Come on. What's this gravity you speak of?
It's the evident downward force.
The downward force?
9.8 meters per second acceleration.
Acceleration? Force? Has this do you have an experiment to back this up, by any chance?
The law.
I'm willing to believe, I'm ready to accept, but there has to be an experiment to back up your claim.
Scientific experiment adhering to the scientific method.
Go on then, Moik, we're ready. We're all ready. Ready, steady,
Hey,
steady.
I have a microphone in my hand.
Just post where we see mass. I don't know, how are you going to provide this gravity in an experiment?
I'm not asserting anything about the cause of gravity. I'm just saying that there is
Hold on. The spinning rock, then the first droplets of water clung to the board because of this gravity thing you say.
This downward force, yeah.
This downward force. So how do we test for this downward force?
Pick up your hand, grab a pencil, pick it up, release it.
Okay.
I just released the helium balloon and went up.
I just released it underwater and it floated.
I just released the hydrogen balloon. Oh, there you go.
So you're wrong on that point. Next point, Moik. Not all things go down. Moik, not everything goes down. We've just tested it. We've experimented with your claim.
Yeah.
You're wrong. It doesn't agree with your hypothesis that everything goes down, Moik. Change your hypothesis to some things go down, Moik. Yes? You predict some things go down.
No, everything goes down.
Oh, everything goes down.
Everything.
So what about this helium balloon?
I just dropped the helium. Yeah, I just dropped the helium balloon. It didn't go down.
And why do we say that happens, dumbass?
Well, why do you say that happens? Why? You said everything goes down. You're
Gravity's
changing your
pulling
mind.
everything down.
First of all, everything goes down. Now some things go up.
I was answering while you were talking to me. That doesn't work really well. Usually you have to go afterwards because you don't fucking listen.
Okay, go on.
No, fuck you, cunt.
So not everything. Change your hypothesis.
Using the word dumbass and stuff.
Change your hypothesis to some things go down.
Why do you have to keep saying dumbass? Why can't you just keep it?
Because he's a dumbass and he's.
And they say dumbass.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Because he realizes that not everything falls down, and he's made a mistake, which is fine. And again, the globe earthers are. I'm not saying you're beneath us, but making mistakes like that, Moya, is not going to elevate you in any kind of way, is it?
I got a question. Does that helium balloon stay up there?
The helium balloon, the helium will stay up there. Yes, the helium, yes.
The helium balloon will stay up there.
The helium will stay up there.
Yeah.
So the balloon comes back down.
The material, yes, will because it's too dense.
After a year or so, yeah.
After a year.
Well, it depends how much helium's in the balloon.
What kind of balloon are we talking about?
Well, it depends on what kind of balloon and helium you're talking. Well, not helium, but the balloon you're talking about.
So any type of the material still comes back down, right?
The material's not helium, dude.
Materials the balloon is made of.
You said helium.
No,
helium.
It's a balloon. It's a container for the gas, right?
Yeah, but the balloon's not helium. You understand that, right?
Yeah. I just said it was a material that was containing the gas, right?
Yeah, so we just contain the helium in that material, and we can remove the material, and the helium will still go up.
Right. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
What's the issue with that?
So not all things go down then, do they? That was a lie from
all material comes back down. The gases we already know that is going to be dependent on the properties of the gas.
Yeah, gravity doesn't affect this gas that you talk about, right?
No, gravity does affect that gas.
How do we know? Can we
can
we experiment?
See when we could take those balloons, put them in a vacuum, and those balloons will go down.
Yeah, of course, but if you pop the balloon, the gas will spread everywhere.
If you pop the balloon, the gas will still be going which way?
It'll spread in all directions.
All directions, and is it going to go to the top?
Well, if there's no air in there, it will just spread out in all directions.
Is it going to go to the top? Is it going to continually go up?
Only if there's air underneath it. You're not listening.
So why is there air underneath it? Why would the air underneath make a difference?
Because it's more dense than the helium.
Oh, so there's density involved.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's perfect.
So what's the issue with gas going up?
Nothing.
And you'll also notice that helium balloon. That helium balloon, you tie a string to your pencil that you dropped, and the helium balloon will pick up that pencil. Have you ever done that? Tied the pencil you dropped onto the floor, and then you grab your helium balloon with string. Yeah.
I mean, we can pick stuff up with cranes that are very large. I don't see an issue with picking stuff up. It still has to be able to hold up that weight. If you make the balloon smaller, it's not going to pick up that same pencil.
There's a lot of mechanicals involved in that, though. There's mechanical energy.
Look, listen,
mechanical energy involved in that, isn't there? Petrol.
No, you
gears,
could
cogs,
you could tie a rope and throw it over a tree branch, and lift something up that way, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's a
listen, Soroki. When you make a paper aeroplane and you throw it off like a cliff, it doesn't just fall straight down; it glides. Yeah.
It glides down. Yeah.
But listen,
because of aerodynamics, right?
Hold on. So, can it go up at any instance? Is it possible? How can it go up?
Yes.
Why?
Well, depending on the aerodynamics and how the wind.
No. So you just throw it.
The air. Hold on. So depending on how the aerodynamics of that paper airplane work, you could actually drop that off the side of a cliff, and it could do a loop-de-loop around, coming back up and around. Right?
Yeah.
So it could go back up.
What's causing that to go up? Is it the plane, or is it? Let's say if I did that in a vacuum, would it do loop-the-loop?
To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Could you demonstrate it? Could you demonstrate it?
What do you think?
Well, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't think
I think that would be dependent on the friction and depending on how much. Oh my goodness! It's trying to answer this is kind of hard with someone else that continues to go over.
Sorry.
So what I would think is it would depend on how much extra matter would be in that vacuum, because we can't have a perfect vacuum. We can have just less air or less particles, right?
You think it would do loop the loop in a vacuum?
I just answered that.
Just simple yes or no.
Kimo, the answer is Kimo. The answer is no, it wouldn't, Kimo. It would drop like a stone. Because the aeroplane, the paper aeroplane, has nothing to ride on. The paper aeroplane is riding on the air and the warm currents therein. Okay?
I believe I just said that, didn't I?
Okay, so now we know that, yeah. How does it go up? Is it the plane?
How does it go up?
Is it the plane or is it the atmosphere?
It's actually both.
But in a vacuum,
if you didn't have the plane, and it didn't have the specific aerodynamics, then it wouldn't be able to make that loop-to-loop, right?
Yeah, but in a vacuum, we've just established it would just go straight down.
No, we did not.
Oh, so you think? Show me. You think it would go loop-de-loop in a vacuum?
What we established was that in a vacuum, depending on how much of a vacuum that we were talking about, that there would be less particulates.
Do you think would there be loop-de-loop?
It would drop like a stone. It would drop like a stone.
With a feather.
Can you demonstrate that?
Saroki, when a feather falls, would a feather turn upside down?
I'll post you a video. I'll post you a video.
For goodness sakes. So if a feather was falling, would that feather flutter around in a vacuum? Saroki.
Yeah, I'm listening.
A feather, would a feather start to float around, like turn upside down and go left, right, and all that kind of stuff? A feather.
As I said, that's going to depend on what you consider a vacuum, because less air, less particulates, probably not. It's not going to.
Kimo,
and that has been demonstrated.
Kimo,
oh my goodness.
Can anybody hear me? Right. When
that's all we can hear is you shouting.
People keep talking, because no one answers. So I end up shouting. Now just listen. Shut up and just listen, will you?
I was answering. You just weren't listening.
When they remove the air from a vacuum chamber, the meter is almost at zero. So what does that mean to you, Kimo? If the vacuum chamber is almost at zero, what does that mean?
Yeah, they've removed the pressure, all the air.
Thank you. Okay. So now, when you ask this man the question, he's just being a dick because he's not answering it properly, is he?
No, he's saying what kind of vacuum?
I'm not answering the way that you want to hear. That's what's happening. And unfortunately, when you say almost zero, that still says it's not a perfect vacuum. That's what it still says. It is not a perfect vacuum. Not a perfect vacuum. You just admitted it yourself when you said that it almost goes to zero. Do you know what the difference between almost zero and zero are?
When you remove the air from a vacuum chamber, the ordinary housefly cannot fly, Kimo. Okay? It's been done, demonstrated, okay? So that tells you if a housefly cannot fly, then obviously a paper aeroplane will drop like a stone, okay? And a drone would fly. I would have posted this stuff. They obviously have not even seen it. They haven't even researched it, Kimo. They're just talking out the side of their necks. They haven't done any research whatsoever on this topic matter of a vacuum.
You keep saying research, and I keep asking you for the demonstration for both of these. You said that you had it.
How you're being disingenuous. That's why.
We're just trying to figure out.
You're busy talking out of your mouth is what's going on.
I am busy proving how disingenuous you are being.
I'm not being disingenuous. I'm being absolutely honest with you, and you put words in my mouth when you said that in a vacuum, and I said it's going to depend on what you consider a vacuum, which was,
all right, so explain the
reduction of air pressure. Hold on. I wasn't finished. Which was the reduction of the air pressure in the chamber, right?
Yeah, let's work with you. So what kind of vacuum will create loop-de-loop for an aeroplane? In your mind, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I don't know. Some sort of friction against the aerodynamics of the plane, right?
I don't know. I'm just saying, what kind of vacuum for the airplane to do a loop-de-loop in your mind? For it to
what kind of vacuum?
Yeah, you said it depends.
You know,
on the
like I said, the amount of particulates that are going to be in an area are going to depend on the aerodynamics, right?
I don't know. I'm asking you, in a vacuum, in space.
Well, if you don't know, then why you keep asking, and I keep telling you that I'm not sure,
so
and you don't accept that answer.
If I threw an airplane,
which part of that don't you understand?
I'm trying to figure out what kind of vacuum you mean. If I threw one in space, would the paper aeroplane do loop-de-loop?
And you keep saying what type of vacuum, and I keep answering, I'm not sure about the amount of air that's going to be required for that.
So how do
I mean, if you want to go through, and do all of the work for it, I'll be more than happy to go and look at the video or something else. If you want to show it, if you want to show it, then show it. But until then, the only thing that you're doing right now is asking me the same exact question that you asked before.
The reason why,
and I gave you an answer, and you don't like the answer.
It's not that I don't know the answer, but you're saying that you don't. Hold on, Jin. You're saying you don't. You're answering this question about the plane in the vacuum, but you don't know what kind of vacuum would make loop-de-loop. Why are you saying, well, you know, it's the air and the plane that's causing this loop-de-loop? When I'm saying to you, in a vacuum, if it's the dynamics and not the air, then it should still work in a vacuum. You should still get loop-de-loop because of the aerodynamics in the vacuum. You're saying like you know this. I'm asking you.
So what part of aerodynamics do you not understand?
The air. What part of vacuum do you air? The air dynamics needs air. So I'm saying to you, you're saying it's
right.
You're
exactly.
saying it. You're saying. Well, let me respond to you then. Let me respond, Soroki. You're saying it's. You're saying it's the plane, the design that gives it the loop-de-loop. And I'm saying if you remove the air, the dynamic air.
Didn't I?
Remove that dynamic air.
I think I said it was both.
I'm saying it's just the air.
He said it was both.
Yeah. Again.
Right. Yeah, but I'm saying it's just the air.
I said it was both. So let's stay back on topic and go back to the part where which part of that don't you understand?
Because in a vacuum, you wouldn't get loop-de-loop no matter the aerodynamics on the plane.
And what was my answer to that? What was my answer to that?
You said you need gas, you need air, particulates.
I didn't say that.
What do you need?
What did I say?
What do you need?
I said I don't know, didn't I?
Yeah, you said you don't know, and I said being disingenuous.
Holy crap! We just went round and round, and you asked me the same question over and over again for you to get the same exact answer.
So how do you know it's both then? Hold on. How do you know? Hold on. How do you know it's both?
I've waited long enough.
Soroki, hold on, Jin. How do you know it's both if you've only seen it in air and the plane? How do you know it's both? That was the point, Soroki. You see? So unless you've done it in a vacuum, you won't know if it's both the dynamics of the plane and the air that it's in. That's the point. So we both know already that you'll never get a plane to loop-de-loop in a vacuum. No matter how you design the plane and you throw it, you'll never get it to spin upside down in the vacuum. So it's simply just down to the atmosphere that causes this. Okay? Now obviously, the point I was asking is what makes the plane, when you throw it, just a simple paper aeroplane, what makes it go up as it glides through the air? Run away. You still here?
Probably what's it called, the Bernoulli force or something.
He's given up
with the lift on the wings. I don't know.
Well, it'd be that gust of wind underneath.
Right, Kimo, can I ask? Kimo, let's get some direction here, because you're not. Let me give you some direction here. Look, I posted 3 videos, right, at 37 minutes past the hour. You'll see them, right. The first one, absolutely amazing. They're only like 5 minutes long, and they show you what happens in a vacuum chamber. The second one demonstrates how a house flies can't fly in a vacuum. Once you remove the air, they walk around. They cannot fly. So the air's gone.
Yeah, you know what they're called, Jim? Jim, do you know what they're called when they can't fly like that? They're called a walk.
Walkies.
No, they're called a lie.
That's just a walk, mate.
Yeah.
Just a lie. They just lie there was. Lie.
Yeah, house lie.
Walk, you know.
Yeah, house lie. And then there's part 2. So I put 3 videos in there, and they're all brilliant. Just watch this, and you know no human can survive a vacuum chamber, and Earth is not in a vacuum. You'll learn.
That's why we have
Just
spacesuits.
watch them. You've got to watch them, man. They're brilliant.
That's why we have spacesuits to survive the lack of air and air pressure.
So my point of this anyway was to prove that it's density that causes the aeroplane to go up and down, and obviously
no.
Yeah, if you have a
wait, it's density that makes the aeroplane go up and down.
Well, obviously it's relative.
No, we're talking about the balloon. We're talking about the balloon here. The balloon.
No. He said airplane.
Yeah, Kimo's talking about.
He meant the helium balloon.
No, Kimo's talking about airplanes. So if you want to talk about balloons, you'll have to wait.
Well, no, if he was talking about balloons, you can carry on. But I was just making my point about the plane.
Yeah, but your point is wrong.
But yeah, I mean, you could have a block of wood and an airplane next to each other, and pretty sure that block of wood is not going to do a loop-de-loop.
No, but we're talking about keeping the plane aloft. Now, if there was a continuous gust of wind or a density wind layer or temperature layer, that would keep the plane.
What the fuck is a density wind layer?
So obviously, that's why the plane goes up, because it's more dense at that moment than around it. There's like a layer underneath it.
Yeah.
See?
Well, but as we go up higher, there's less density in the air, right?
Yes.
I don't agree with that, because the ISS is a U-2 plane, and you can't have planes fly that high if there is no air.
Okay, so you went completely outside of the Earth and went up into space.
Yes.
So if we want to stay on the, if we want to hold on, if we want to stay on the Earth, we can demonstrate this by going up a mountain.
Yep.
And having less density.
Yeah, but I can also well, how high is Everest? 25,000 feet.
How high is it?
25,000 feet.
1,000 feet, isn't it? Something like that, 29, 30,000 feet ish.
Something like that, 25, 30,000 feet. Okay. So you're saying that it's hard to breathe at that height, yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it is.
We can go higher than that, okay, and stay in the air for a lot longer, okay, and survive just fine.
How do we do that?
How do we do that? Good question. Glad you asked. Okay, so you've heard of stowaways. Okay.
Oh, well, I know we was getting to that.
So these stowaways.
Oh, are you talking about the pressurized airplane?
No. Don't jump the horses. Just try to listen.
He's on about stowaways.
So the stowaways, what they do is you have small children, some young adults, and some people who need to get to another country from their born country, and they jump inside the wheel hub of where the wheel goes. And they don't have any breathing apparatus. They just have a little blanket, and some of them must survive for miles, thousands of miles, no, hundreds of miles, I should say, for hours, 11 hours, up to 11 hours, 40,000 feet, 35,000 feet.
40,000? You sure about
35 to 40,000 feet. Go on Wikipedia, stowaways, and you'll see a list of survivors and people who died. A lot of people who died, they died because it was too cold, and they were crushed by the wheel, okay, or they fell out. Mm-hmm.
And they also,
or they asphyxiated.
No. The survivors. Go and have a look at all the survivors. No. How do they breathe?
How did they breathe?
Exactly. If there's no air.
Sure. There is a difference between certain people's makeup, isn't there?
Well, there you go. Then. Yeah. So those children could go up Mount Everest and have no problems because they were higher than that for hours with no problems. What's your point?
There's also there's complications that happen afterwards, and also kids are more they're more resilient than an adult would be when it comes to
they've got bigger lungs.
Changes.
They've got bigger lungs than an adult.
Air changes. like that.
And they were just
sorry?
They have bigger lungs than adults. I don't think so, but there were a lot of adults as well. There were adults who tried to flee their countries as well. Go and look at Wikipedia.
Right, and there were quite a few of them that passed away because of that as well.
No, the reason why they died is due to the cold, and they were crushed by the wheel because they were in the wrong spot.
I don't think that's the only thing that happened to them. I'm pretty sure they're also going to have an issue.
Many people survived at 40,000 feet, 35,000 feet, and they breathed just fine. Made it the whole entire way for 11 hours. 11 hours with no air, according to you. According to you,
that's not what I said at all, is it?
According to you, you can't breathe at 25,000 feet.
That's not what I said at all, is it?
Kimo, quick question. Could you please mute Jin or get him to mute himself because he's feeding back?
Jin, what do you want me to say?
Well,
he's making good points. He's making good points. He's making good points. No. What can I say?
It's not a matter of his points. He's actually everyone talks. It goes through his.
So anyway, look. The point is that it only takes one black swan, okay, one person to survive. We've had more than 10 people survive at 35, 40,000 feet, breathing just fine, no problems. And like I say, that just proves and debunks any idea that the air is not breathable up those those heights.
So again, Kimo, you've tried to strawman me into an argument at this point, and you're still not addressing the problem, which is the density of the air for an airplane and for the loop-de-loop.
Yeah, for the plane to loop-the-loop, I'm saying it's density under the plane that lifts it up, pushes it that way.
So are you saying that the air has to be more dense below it for that plane to do a loop-de-loop?
In and around it, yeah, in the right places, yeah. It's got to be in the right places, yeah. Because you're playing
in the right places. What do you mean by when you say in the right places? Are you saying that there are pockets of air that are going at different places or something?
Can I address the loop because we're going too long? Can I address the loop because you're taking too long about it?
I didn't even get to ask my question to you, Kimo, before
go for it, Jim.
We got this shouting.
Yeah, Kimo, look, because this is taking too long. This is taking too long, yeah? Look, it's the reason the paper aeroplane does this loop-the-loop would be due to the warm currents that the plane finds itself in. That would be the only reason why that would happen. Okay? That's it. It's not going to be doing loop-the-loop forever, is it? Okay, can we
No, that's also going to be the aerodynamics of the plane, isn't it? Because I can throw a pencil. Hold on.
Yes,
I can throw a pencil.
Of course.
And that's not going to do a loop-de-loop,
right.
Is
it's
it?
not going to loop the entire way, is it? Or is it?
But can we move on? Yes. Can we move on? Yes.
Yeah, go for it, Jim. Go for it.
Shit. Fuck. Loop the loop. You remove the air from a chamber, the aeroplane will drop down. Fuck's sake. Yeah, right. When you remove the air from a vacuum chamber, of which I've sent you 3 videos, which you haven't bothered to even look at yet, designs will drop like a stone.
Okay. Of course it will. An aircraft, the plane needs air to work.
Oh,
it's going to create lift. That's how aerodynamics work for an airplane. It has to fly through the atmosphere and create lift. If there's no atmosphere, how does it create lift? So you don't even know what your argument is, do you?
I do. I wanted you to finish. Now I'm going to hit you with it hard now. So it's funny how you have your block of wood, which was mentioned a few minutes ago, and your paper aeroplane, and someone said, I noticed the block of wood would drop straight down. It would, yeah. But you notice how the paper aeroplane is taking its time because it's riding on the air, yeah? Yes. It's lighter, so it's nothing to do with gravity. Now gravity selects, isn't it?
It's creating
it pulls the block of wood straight down.
Do you not know
but
how
it can't
aircraft
pull the
work?
piece of wood straight down, can it?
Jin, do you not know how aircraft work, how they fly?
Look, I know how an aircraft works.
Really?
We're talking about a paper aeroplane. here at the moment.
The aerodynamic surfaces
aeroplane
create lift.
Gravity was the point.
And if you want anything heavier than a paper
Look,
aeroplane,
we're talking
then
about
it needs
a paper
thrust as well
aeroplane
to overcome
gravity. And how gravity cannot pull the piece of paper down as quick as it's pulling that piece of wood down. That's the point we are highlighting here. Gravity is very selective.
No, it's
very
not.
selective.
It's not selective at all. It works on everything.
It's cherry picking,
The
isn't
block
it,
of
Brad?
wood has no aerodynamic
Can't
properties
pull down a
whatsoever.
piece of.
It's not
They
creating
pull
any
that block
lift.
of wood down pretty quick, but it can't pull
Yeah, I
that.
know you're retarded, but this is ridiculous.
I mean, that's the surface.
Time
The
and
surface.
time and time again, you will be debunked.
Debunked by what? You're admitting to aerodynamics at this point, and that they work. At this point, you're admitting that aerodynamics work.
For the rest of
Arguing
your
against
life.
yourself again, Jin. Sorry. The paper aeroplane flies because it has aerodynamic properties, and it also happens to be really, really light. The block of wood has zero aerodynamic properties and is quite heavy. Therefore, it's going to drop like, well, a
And
block
which
of
gravity are we talking about?
There is only one gravity.
Newtonium, Einsteinium?
No,
Which
please
one?
don't go down that bullshit
Neither
road.
of them
There's
have been
only
proven.
one gravity.
Which one? Which
There's
gravity?
only one. There's only one gravity.
Yeah, they're both the same.
They're both the same.
They're both the same
There's
gravity.
only one gravity. I mean, Christ, next you're going to say it's relative density disequilibrium and not gravity, aren't you? I mean, really, I'm filling in my bingo card here. I'm still going to have
Einsteinium, isn't it? Einsteinium, the bending and space-time fabric. Einsteinium gravity.
They are both the same thing.
Superseded.
We can explain it for you, but we can't understand it for you. Sorry.
Which gravity are you talking about?
There's only one.
They're the same.
They're describing the same thing.
That's not a real question, Jin.
Einstein based his work on
Describing the bending and warping of space-time fabric
reduce Einstein's
does
gravity
not
down
explain
to
why
Newton's.
my keys kilometer. You will talk while I'm talking. The bending and warping of space-time fabric does not explain why my key spell.
Is it me or does he keep breaking up?
Yeah, no, he's got a pretty terrible connection.
That's okay then. It's not just me because I'm fortunately, well, actually, it's making it worse. I'm only getting half of what he's saying, if that, which means he's making even less sense than usual.
That's not possible.
No, it is.
That's like saying two infinity.
Please don't say that's not possible.
I mean, all this can be settled, really. Simply with obviously by showing us mass attracting mass in a vacuum, and obviously these discussions are no more. But we obviously don't have that observed phenomena in nature, so we need an explanation as to how
mass
objects
attracts mass. It doesn't matter whether there's a vacuum or not; it still happens.
Yeah, but we know the cause. We know that the air is constantly moving around and causing drafts, circulation.
That's got nothing to do with gravity.
No, that has everything to do with the mass that we see attracting the mass.
That's gravity. Mass attracting mass is gravity.
Well, that's what we're trying to explore. We're trying to discover if it is.
It is. No, it is.
That is begging the question.
There is no discussion over these facts, except from idiots who want to pretend
that's the real fallacy affirming the consequences.
It's a what?
That's an affirming the reification, begging the question fallacy.
Okay? Can you sling a few more words in there as well? I'll make a lovely salad.
I've just said, I've explained to you, you're making a fallacy, and you're already saying it is, because it is, and we're trying to explore whether the...
And that's not a fallacy.
Yes, you're affirming the consequence.
You trying to pretend reality doesn't exist is your problem.
Affirming the consequence that hasn't been established yet.
Yeah, this is...
No, this has been established over a good many
affirming the consequence.
Misplaced.
We haven't established
studies and tests.
Misplaced affirming...
At all.
Look, farmers, you can't just say, Moik tried this earlier on, the earth is spinning because it is, and it is, just because it is. Because. And
no, you said that.
No, Moik said this earlier on. You're now saying...
No, he didn't.
You're now saying.
I didn't.
You're saying
No, you didn't.
you're
You
now
didn't say
saying
that.
gravity is because it is and it's there.
No. You're any more straw men, and you'll be defeating the.
It's
the
not a
straw
straw
that my
man.
dad
Do we
gets
have
every
gravity or
harvest.
not?
Yes.
Right, that's not a straw man. You're saying we have gravity. That's my point. How's that a straw man?
But we do have gravity.
No, but again, that is reaffirming the fallacy consequence, right?
No, it's no fallacy. We have gravity.
That's what we're trying to test.
There
We're trying to test.
There is a force generated through mass attracting mass, and we happen to call that gravity. We could have called it Nigel, but we called it gravity.
Yes, this attraction is what we're trying to experiment with.
Well, but I mean, you're just doing what lots and lots of people have done many times over the years. But you know, off you go.
Well, it's never been done before. Biodual.
No, Kimo. It has been done before. The Cavendish has been done in a vacuum chamber, just that you won't accept it because there isn't a YouTube video of it.
Right, well, prove that, farmers. You know,
There is, though.
we're going to ask you for
It's been
proof.
presented to you. But
Yeah, there is, and there is a video, and it has been given to him.
A video? Where?
Oh, it's me. Oh, it's
Where?
I wasn't aware of that.
Where, farmers? Not farmers.
On,
Where's Cypher?
on YouTube, Kimo, and it's been posted up here at least once. I've posted it up in here when we were having the same discussion.
Whoa,
so it has been given to you.
Whoa, Cavendish in a vacuum has already been done, is what you're saying. Prove
yes,
it. Post it now.
The video, and the video's been given to you, so I don't know why you're denying.
Right, well, post it right now.
No, you've been given the video. Don't deny that you have.
I can't believe this. Post the video.
Well, I've already have. I'm not posting it again. If you didn't, months ago, look back in the text chat for it. It's there. You've been given it.
No,
you're lying.
You're pulling my leg. I get what this is. Ha ha ha.
It's Kimo.
Yes.
Kimo's as honest as the day is long. As they say.
Look, where's the video? And then this is the whole gravity discussion pretty much done and dusted. So where's that video?
I remember that video. That's what we keep trying to tell you.
Oh, Veach, you also saw it, yeah?
Yeah, I saw it. I remember it.
You saw Cavendish in a vacuum, Veach, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Farmers, you saw also, yeah?
No.
Oh, you didn't see it, but Veach has seen it. Fantastic.
You should go get it. Go watch it.
Fantastic. Veach has seen Cavendish in a vacuum. Farmers didn't see it. That's okay.
I've seen it in person.
Go see it. Go watch the video, Kimo. You're going to like it. You'll dig it.
Yeah, I'm just establishing that you've seen it, Veach, yeah?
Yeah. So go find the video.
Yeah, I will do, yeah. Fantastic. So Veach has seen Cavendish in a vacuum. Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you keep repeating that?
I'm just saying that the video you're talking about, he's seen it, the Cavendish in a vacuum.
Great, wonderful.
Yes,
not you, farmers.
Red papers.
I mean, it's not the end of the world that I haven't seen the
No,
particular
it's not the end of the world,
video.
but Veach has seen it, so it's all good.
Why do you keep
I've seen
repeating
it.
that?
I've read the papers.
No, you said you've seen the video. We're talking about the video. You've seen the video, Veach.
Kimo, listen to me. Don't interrupt. I've seen the video. I've read the papers. I've talked to people that have done it. All three of those things.